So I have been getting asked a ton in the comment section of every SoFi video and even other videos completely unrelated to SoFi about, is SoFi a meme stock? Or people are just straight up telling me they hate SoFi because it's nothing but a meme stock. Like always on this channel, let's put some facts in front of all of us, and then I'll kind of work through them and let you know what my take is on those facts. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype. So let's start with the facts around all this, then we'll actually get into what it means to SoFi, how it relates to SoFi, obviously what it means to us as shareholders, and how it impacts the stock ultimately. So first up, what is a meme stock? Well, there is no actual formal definition, so Investopedia gives us a nice little rundown of kind of what constitutes a meme stock, at least the best that I could find out there. So that kind of gives us a baseline to work off of to kind of get to the right answer. Meme stocks are shares of companies around which online communities have formed to promote and build narratives. Meme stocks in their present form arose in the year 2020 out of the subreddit Wall Street Bet Stuff. GameStop is widely regarded as the first meme stock whose price rose as much as 100 times over several months as its meme community crafted a short squeeze. Meme stocks have generated their own slang and language that's used in online forums and social media. These stocks carry an added risk of higher than normal volatility that could be driven by viral posts on various social media platforms. Okay, I know that's a lot right there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack this point by point in regards to SoFi specifically, so that way we can kind of see what applies, what doesn't apply, and get us a little bit closer to that answer. There's more to it than this, but let's just kind of start right here with that. All right, so right there in the first point, meme stocks are shares of companies around which online communities have formed to promote and build narratives. Now this one right here, I can't say isn't true. I don't think it's as crazy. I don't think the subreddits on Wall Street Bets and all that is as crazy on SoFi as it is with, AMC and GameStop and all that good stuff like that. But I can't say there aren't online communities out there too. There's channels here, right here on YouTube, that's pretty much all I talk about is SoFi stock specifically. And that's not the case with a lot of other stocks in the stock market. So when I'm looking down just that first section right there, that absolutely seems to fit the bill for SoFi stock. Again, you guys come here for the truth, and that's exactly what you're going to get. Next up, meme stocks and their present form arose in the year 2020 out of the subreddit. Okay, that's very true. GameStop is widely regarded as the first meme stock. Yep, I agree there completely as well. Nothing there in regards to SoFi, though, on either one of those 2 points. Meme stocks have generated their own slang and language that used in online forums and social media. All right, I'm going to stop right there on that one because that one I do not believe applies to SoFi, although I see all the different terms and everything else used all over the place now, right? I don't think they're a part of just meme stock investing. I hear them mentioned all the time. You'll have a YouTuber talking about Apple and they'll talk about, oh, I'm taking my tendies on Apple and just silly stuff like that I've never heard prior to this, by the way. But, all of a sudden now it's a thing. You still got people refer to diamond hands. We all know what that means, regardless of what stock you're talking about there. So I'd say that point pretty much applies to just retail investors, us in general. And now you're seeing some Wall Street folks, some hedge funds folks, and some other folks kind of using the same exact language, regardless of what. We can be talking about Coca-Cola stock, and somebody will say, ooh, Coca-Cola's printing some tendies, or just something ridiculous like that. It's just kind of become a part of the investing lexicon per se. So that one is not specific to SoFi. It's kind of specific to the stock market in general now, especially in the retail community. So that one I can't really throw in there and say, hey, that's SoFi, but then that's not other stocks. Nah, it's pretty much all stocks in the stock market get talked about that way. And lastly, these stocks carry an added risk of higher than normal volatility that could be driven by viral posts on social media platforms. Okay, so this one I say is a yes and a no for SoFi. What I mean by that is yes, SoFi is going to be extra volatile, and it has been extra volatile over its time. Obviously, it's ran up, up over $20, come all the way down to in the $4 range. We've run up over 10 and come back down, into the $7 range now. So yeah, it absolutely is volatile. However, the last little component of that, the viral, posts going out there on social media, I haven't seen with SoFi yet. I'm sorry. It doesn't exist. I can't think of somebody coming in, what pretty kitty, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. Whatever, the kitty guy post something of him just leaning forward and I don't know, it's just a picture and all of a sudden the stock going to the moon. I don't remember that ever happening with SoFi, and I've been tracking the stock for well over 2 years now. So I don't believe that part of the equation applies to SoFi. So whenever we look at the definition there, it's kind of lined out by Investopedia. It's kind of a mixed bag. We hit some, we don't hit some. And, there's nothing definitive there. Matter of fact, if you wanted to put it, I'd say 66% yes and 33% no. in regards to where I kind of rank SoFi on the scale so far. But let's move to the next point here and see if that provides us any additional clarity. Next up, ETFs for meme stocks. So if you guys didn't know out there, there is actual ETFs that were created back during all the rage that actually track what they consider quote unquote meme stocks. You can actually buy an ETF that just carries a bunch of different meme stocks. And the question becomes, is SoFi included on some of those ETFs? And the answer is yes, it is included in that. And the reason why is because the methodology typically, obviously each one's a little bit different there and they have a little bit of different goal, et cetera, et cetera. But typically what it is some combination of a lot of social media interest, post, basically a lot of activity on social media specifically around the particular stock and a very high short interest in the stock as well. So you kind of, whatever they formulaically get to it, those are kind of the two key ingredients that I kind of saw across the board that were kind of the same, that kind of went to making up how these ETFs decide what stocks go into those ETFs or not, and which ones kind of fall in and out, and all that other good stuff like that. So obviously, SoFi was included in some of those ETFs, so that, is another strike against it for being a meme stock. But when I looked at all the holdings of all the various ones that were in there, I also saw other companies like Apple, like Microsoft, like Nvidia, like Tesla, along with the likes of Rivian and AMC and GameStop, and of course SoFi was included in that as well. So when you look at the actual picture that's there, just being included in that, I'm not necessarily sure makes you a meme stock, because there's a mixture of some great, incredible, all-time great companies and some complete garbage in there as well, especially when you kind of look at some of the older lists of some of the companies that gone bankrupt in the meantime. Those right there are also included in that list. So that's nothing definitive as well that really tells me, is it a meme stock or not? Because I don't know, if that's a meme stock, then that means Nvidia is a meme stock too. And I don't know, Apple, Microsoft, really? Microsoft? So with all this information and all this craziness, would I add SoFi to a brand new portfolio? Or for those of you guys that are newer investors, would I actually use SoFi if I was starting a portfolio from scratch? Well, after this weekend, you won't be able to find out because the investor tier is going to go away. I had to add a few spots in there to get us through the weekend here. I wanted to give all you guys a chance to jump on board and be a part of that and get your spot with those limited spots there, those founder tiers, before the price goes up forever for that particular tier. So make sure you jump on that. Or if you want a full membership where you get complete access to all my buy and sell alerts and all my portfolios, my complete watch list with price targets, you get 5 courses for free. You get your free coaching, stock analyzer tool for free. Guys, there's so much in there. There's so much involved in the group. Even if you get that investors tier, you get access to over 500 educational videos to help you with your investing. There's so much included in the group at both tiers. Make sure you check out the pinned comment, at least see what you get, and take advantage of those prices before the price goes up after this weekend. All right, so let's talk about what all this means for SoFi. And really, to me, it comes down to 2 main points. Just 2 big things that this means for SoFi stock. First, being a meme stock is relative. Well, what the heck does that mean, Luke? That's not helping me out any. No, I understand. What it means is you have to look at each stock individually. And what I mean by that is Nvidia is not a trash company, trash meme stock. Neither is Microsoft. Microsoft is not a trash stock. Apple is superior in every single way to AMC, for example. And you can go on and on with a list of stocks that are considered meme stocks that are actually great stocks. And of course, there is an abundance of trash stocks that also fall into the meme stock category as well, at least based upon everything we just laid out there. So when I look at that, it's relative, and it doesn't matter whether or not you're called a meme stock or not. Who freaking cares? You have to look at the stocks individually. Every single one of them. Who cares if it's called a meme stock, if it's called this type stock or that type stock or whatever? Doesn't matter. The point being, you need to look at the individual stocks, because it's not just easy and going, oh, well, if it's in the meme stock category, it's total trash. Cool. Then I guess don't own Apple, don't own Microsoft, don't own Nvidia, don't own Tesla, don't own any of those other stocks like that. Yes, there are some bankruptcy stocks on that list, but there are also some of the greatest stocks in the history of the stock market that are also considered meme stocks by many. So basically, it's all relative. So when I look at SoFi specifically, I see 10 plus straight quarters of SoFi financials getting better every single quarter. I see a stock and a company that has routinely for 10 straight quarters now, not only had beat in revenue, beat in EPS, they're also beating and raising in terms of their guidance. So they are basically beating and raising every single quarter. I can see it in that quarterly data going from burning a lot of money to now turning a profit and seeing that journey get closer and closer and closer every single quarter. I can see quarter after quarter growth for over 10 quarters now in regards to revenue and profits. All those facts, and those are facts, are something you cannot say about most of the trash meme stocks that are in the meme state craze. I'm sorry, you can't say that about GameStop. I know there's some folks that think that's going to be the greatest stock since sliced bread. Look at the financials, look at the last 10, and you tell me how that stock has done and how the financials and the performance of the company have done. And if you want, just overlay it right over the top of SoFi there and tell me what you see. And since I went and I did that, you see two companies going in the complete opposite directions. Now, it's not on NVIDIA's level. I agree there. So obviously it's kind of like, hey, here's GameStop going, or I guess it would be this way. So here's GameStop going this way, here's SoFi going this way, and then obviously here's NVIDIA going that way. They're not up there on NVIDIA's level yet. I agree there completely. I'm not even going to try to argue that. I know some of the bulls may try to argue that. Cool. It's not the reality of what we're seeing in the financials so far. However, to immediately go, well, it's got to be one or the other, like everybody likes to do, make it this one extreme or the other extreme, is patently false too. It is not anywhere close to, GameStop disaster in regards to what they're doing on earnings. And I can also say it's also not just destroying earnings on a different level like NVIDIA is either. However, they are absolutely still crushing earnings in the meantime there, and I'm very happy with the performance of SoFi as a company, as a business, and what they're putting up in regards to their financials. Oh, I see it being on the good side of the equation in regards to meme stocks, but we got to get to the second piece as well because it's just as important. So the second piece is volatility. Now, as you can tell, I personally don't think it's one of those trash meme stocks. I really don't. I don't even care if you want to call it a meme stock or not. I don't, because I'm not going to put labels on that, because then I got to label basically almost my whole portfolio a meme of some sort, because obviously, your Apples and your Teslas and stocks like that fall into it as well. So I'm not going to do that here. But I can't say it is not going to be extremely volatile like a lot of the other meme stocks that are complete trash. And, hey, we've seen it in this journey so far, right? It's shot all the way up over 20, come all the way down to 4. We've been up over 10, then back down to 7 again, like we are right now, and all over the map. That is what is going to happen with the stock now. And I believe over the next few years, we're probably going to see that same level of, now maybe not that crazy of a swing, but we're going to see high levels of volatility compared to a lot of the other stocks like an NVIDIA in regards to SoFi stock in the future. But when you think about that, and you think about a lot of the other great stocks that are on the list, like your Apples, for example, Apple was the same exact way whenever they first turned a profit. And most companies, whenever they first turn a profit, are volatile those first few years as the shares and as institutional buyers start buying your stock more and more and more. And as the stock starts going from trader controlled over here to much more institutional controlled, as you start seeing that swing happen, you're still going to see a lot of volatility, especially early in that journey. And obviously, we just have times like 2022 where, hey, it can be a really not so volatile stock, and all of a sudden incredible volatility flows into the stock as well during, particular scenarios in the market. So volatility is normal in the end for a company where SoFi is at in their journey so far. And this is why valuation, and why I harp on it, and I will harp on it until, it just is not a thing anymore, which I don't see happening because it's been a thing in the stock market the entire time of the stock market. So it's something I will continue to harp on. You've got to understand valuation so you don't overpay for SoFi, but you also recognize whenever you're getting a great deal on SoFi as well. You can't do that without valuation. Learn it. Learn it right here on YouTube. Obviously, we teach it in my group. We have coaching on it. I got it. It's not for everybody. Great. Just please, please, please learn that, because that right there is going to help you deal with the volatility in a stock like SoFi that is going to happen. It is guaranteed, guys, so you need to be prepared. And that is the best way to be prepared, is understand what it is when it is overvalued and when it is undervalued. And that's how you stay out of trouble. And that's how you make a lot of money in stocks over the long run, along with just buying and holding and not playing the trading games and all the other ridiculous things that everybody tells you to do. Follow me, follow this, whatever the case is. And oh, by the way, then you can underperform a dead person. That's kind of what happens with trading. So if you avoid the hype and you buy the fear instead, you're going to make a lot of money over the long run. And remember, if you don't know how to do evaluation, my group absolutely teaches that. It's on sale right now, where you can learn that directly through the courses. Then you can jump on our coaching. Obviously, myself and the rest of our 6, 7, and 8 figure Discord members are all right there to help you carry you along, help you through that journey. And of course, you get my complete watch list with price targets. You can see the stock analyzer tool for free. You get to see all my buy and sell alerts in real time. Obviously, you get to see the $250 portfolio challenge. You get to see our expert investors in our portfolio challenge. You get to see their buys as well. That's something that if you get that lower tier, they don't get that. But the upper tier, you guys absolutely get that. So that way you get that information and you can see, one, they're kicking my butt right now. I'm going to beat them long term, but short term, they're crushing me there. You get to see all that information as well, why they're buying, what their portfolios look like and everything else, along with a ton more. Just check out the pinned comment, see everything that's included and see if a membership's right for you. And make sure you take advantage of the sale before it expires this weekend. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan in this market. So thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.